It's Kate. Welcome to Co-Parenting with Narcissist 101. Thank you for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, please do. Don't forget to like and share as well. Guys, today's topic is the kids showing you love triggers or causes narcissistic injury where the covert narcissist is concerned. The kids showing you love causes narcissistic injury. Guys, yesterday was really some kind of weird day for me. I had to get hold of my mind, like I keep telling you guys. One of those days. I don't know if you guys have the same kind of arrangement in my divorce decree. They the kids are supposed to go to the covert narcissist side for a month, for the whole of June, and in that decree it specifically says that during that whole time, 30 days, that the kids can come home for a weekend, right? And this happened last year because prior to those previous 2 years, he wasn't interested in doing that. So, but it happened last year because he was busy with the new supply those 2 years, and then yeah, so he finally showed up last year to do it, and the same thing happened when they came home for a weekend, and I'm going back and then stay the rest of the month. So of course this month it's the same thing. So when they're leaving, because I didn't want to go really, they stayed that long. So I'm like, oh, remember we gotta, you guys come in the weekend and then you go back, kind of like a break in between, And then my son was like, oh, mom, make sure you call every day. So sure, I'm gonna call every day. Okay, so then went right after school. That's how it says in the divorce. Right after school ends. That's how it says in the divorce decree. So, and I've been calling them, of course, every day. So by I think it was Tuesday, I called, and my daughter was on the phone. But now you have to remember that anytime you call over there, at least for me, they are on the other line. So I called the house phone, in his apartment. So he definitely picks up the other phone because I could hear it every single time. And so I called Tuesday, and the kids answered. So we're talking, and then towards the end, my daughter, like almost like she was whispering, and said, "I miss you, mom. Me and my brother, we miss you so much." I'm like, "Oh, I miss you too." And in my mind, I knew that something crazy was going to happen because he heard that. And I don't know how to tell her that this man is on the other phone, on the other line, that definitely he's listening. So, what do you have it? The next day, which is Wednesday now, I called, and the same time that I normally call, they're always home. He did not let them answer the call. Neither did he let them call back. But like I said, I knew something was going to happen. I knew he was going to do some crazy stuff. Fast forward Thursday, this was the weekend that they were supposed to show up, for the weekend I talked about. And I called them on Thursday. We're talking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they were so excited," and they were excited to come home for the weekend. And like I said, I knew something that he's gonna pull some stunt. Because how dare this kid be over here telling this woman that they miss her? So they were excited, and "Oh, I'll see you guys tomorrow, mom. I'll pick you guys tomorrow." Yeah, showed up to pick them up on Friday. Well, guess what happened? I was so expecting it to happen. You have to understand, guys. That's why, like I tell you guys, like keep the expectation low when these people are concerned and make plans accordingly. I knew he was going to pull a stunt. That so much so that when I put into the apartment, I didn't, move into the, get inside the gate. You know how they have the apartment with the gate. I parked outside right in front of the leasing office and called my son on the phone. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm here," and they're like, "Oh yeah, mom, we're coming down." Then as I'm trying to put the car in reverse, like, "Oh, okay, I guess this, I've been proven wrong, right?" My son called right back again. Mom, he said we can't go. I said, "What? No, you're supposed to come for the weekend." And then in the background, I hear him yelling, "Hey, this is not what was in the decree, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, that was what happened last year. It's more than it's in the decree. Blah, blah. I hung up the phone and reversed and drove out. That's how much I knew that he was gonna pull a stunt. That I when I got to the apartment, I did not come inside because I know, you know, that kid saying that, oh, I miss you, mom, and the kid's being so excited on Thursday that he was gonna pull a stunt like this. I knew. So I came home and type up my stuff and file it into the case we got going, because if you have a case open, with the court, at least here in Texas, you can file into the case, because I want the stuff to be there noted. Of course, I noted email, and that's okay. You refuse to release the kids for this weekend, so I did all that, and then you have to file. You can file into the case, so it's there. And I'm doing this because I know, with the way the kids are going, that by the time we hit teenager, my son already talking about it. It's like, I would like to not, choose when I would like to choose when I go, but my sister is still underage, so I'm going to keep going. So I know by the time they get to that, they're all teenagers, that it probably won't matter what I say. Like, right now I'm literally forcing them to go. We have this conversation every time they have to visit. Hey guys, that's what's in the court. And then they're arguing about it. And, so we go through that. So I know by the time they are by 15, 16, that they will choose not to be going. Because as much as you can tell a 4-year-old, and as much as a 4-year-old is a minor as well as a 16 or 15, chances are they're not going to have interest in that if they're already showing that now. So with this stuff that I'm filing into the case, with every incident, by the time that it comes, because, when it happens, the court will probably think, oh, the other parent, which is probably what he would do, you think the other parent is trying to manipulate the kids into not coming. But in my request, it might require rather that the kids show up in court and actually say, this is what they want. I know the legal age is supposed to be 18. That's when they can decide not to do. I mean, besides that, they can't really, in quotes, have a choice. But when they, when this case comes, when, like, have to modify the custody agreement, they'll probably require them to come over. And that's when all this stuff that I'm filing into the case will come into play. So many times that he has to deviate from the custody agreement. Why? Because he figured, let's punish the kids. How dare she say she misses me? How dare they think they are so happy to leave, to go for a weekend. So he wanted to punish them. So you should have seen how he was yelling on the phone in background. I'm like, what? Oh, the divorce decree, that's not what he said. He said 30 days and blah, 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 blah. And in the middle of them, like, but that's what we did last year. If it wasn't in the decree, why did we do that last year? And then I'm like, okay. Hung up the phone and just, left. Personally, of course, on my own, like I told you guys, I expected this. Immediately, my daughter said, I miss you. Me and my daughter miss you so much. I knew he was going to pull some kind of stunt. So I was ready for that. So my mind wasn't as much. I was more feeling the kids, because they already were excited, and they're like, oh, I didn't even say what we're doing, because like I said, you can't even say I can't say what I'm planning to do with them when they come back, because that's another thing that you never do with a narcissist. Don't ever expose your plans to the kids. Everything got to be some kind of surprise to the kids, So, but I knew he was gonna pull this kind of stunt. I was more so feel bad for the kids, because I know they were ready to go to visit, but at the same time, I know they understand who we're dealing with here, so that at least, give me some kind of relief, if you will. But was I pissed yesterday? Yes, I was. It's one of those things where you're like, if I could just march over there, go up to that apartment and just, but now we're not going to do that. We're not crazy people. We're not crazy people. We're not going to do that. So, guys, one of the situations of getting hold of your mind, because that's really needed, and keeping expectations to the barest minimum. And you realize that you do not have to worry so much about stuff. And yeah, you might get angry and stuff, but it's not one of those things where you're like, you kind of like feel so helpless, with it. But, so you expect stuff to happen, and it will happen, because these people, they are nothing if not consistent with the nonsense they pull. So I know. I knew as of that Tuesday, then I talked to my daughter, that this was going to happen. And it did happen. So guys, get a hold of your mind, keep expectations to the minimum, file whatever you need to file with the court, and keep it going. Right now, I know me and the kids are just being patient, because like I said, I know that by the time they hit the mid-teenage years, we're going to have some kind of rearrangement with the custody, because then they don't. I very much, as I see them, like I said, I'm not one forcing them to do it now. I know they're not going to do it. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind, and everything's will fall into place. Sorry, this one is too long. Please like and share, guys.